All right, so we have another pretty notable release this week. The U.S. Mint had officially announced that they are releasing this coin right here. This is the Wilma Mankiller Reverse American Women's Series of Quarters. They had talked about on their U.S. Mint website and through email communication that this coin is being shipped directly from the Philadelphia and Denver mints to the respective sorting partners, I guess, and the Fed Reserve Bank and so on and so forth. Be on the lookout for these quarters to drop this week. All right. I guess the closer you are to a Fed Reserve Bank, the easier it's going to be for you to obtain some of these quarters. Now, let me talk a little bit about why it's significant. Because we have seen through the first two releases of the 2022 American Women's Series of Quarters, robust secondary market sales, in addition to the believe it or not, selection of interesting errors that have been popping up on these, from little die gouges to what else? Die chips, corner of mouth die chips on both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, by the way, for that corner of mouth die chip. There was even a small little cud die break on the reverse of the Maya Angelou that was discovered. Not something spectacular, but at release they were worth about $40-50. So, just that on its own has a lot of merit into why you might want to consider going to the bank and kind of priming your bank tellers into some sort of intel when these are going to be dropped. Here is kind of to let you kind of recap what these quarters look like. So they have this newer obverse. Okay, this one right here. Before these coins even released, there was a lot of negativity over the obverse design of these quarters, and people have kind of changed their tune on that. Now there's going to be your select number of people that still think that it bears no resemblance to the outgoing design, and this is a changeover just for this 4-year program. But yeah, not a lot of people were particularly happy with this. But keep in mind, the original engraver of this is one of our storied lady sculptors and designers. Okay, so you definitely have to keep that in mind when it comes to this coin. It's an American Women's Series. Okay, 20 coins total, spanning 4 years. It's only appropriate that they use a female engraver for the obverse design. Now this one right here is the Sally Ride. It's a Denver. All right, but there's a Sally Ride reverse there. Okay, so that's the more recent release for this quarter, and yeah, me personally, I like the series. It's a distinguishing, very contrasting difference compared to what the America the Beautiful series was, because in part they put this high relief obverse design on there with George Washington, which I like. I'm not gonna kid you. I like that design. And then just the overall the subjects that they're putting onto these coins are important, in some aspect of U.S. history. Now, you guys probably don't know who Wilma Mankiller is. Funny name aside, she is the principal chief of the Cherokee Nation, first and only, first ever. So they added her to coin number 3 of this first year series, and you guys saw the picture. That's going to be the reverse that you're going to be on the lookout for. Now let's talk a little about what to find out there, because based off of the first 2 releases, there's going to be some likenesses and carryovers error-wise from one to the other. The one thing that we do know is based off of the working dies of the obverse, there's some sort of weakness or some area around the corner of mouth area where they're very prone to die chipping. So I would expect to see more of that going into the third installment, the Man Killer reverse. So be on the lookout for that. Now, like anything that first comes out, you're gonna have a lot of hype. You're gonna have a lot of desirability for these type of errors through the first, I would say, 10 to 14 days. And then they begin to die off afterwards. And the big reason why is that the supply has met demand at that point. So make sure you're aware of that. If you do come across these and you find some pretty awesome like die chips or some other anomalies on there, take advantage of it. All right, sell them within the first week or so. Okay, and then if you're the first one on there, kind of do a blank check scenario. You don't want to go too incredibly crazy because at first these things sold for like $50 a piece. I would probably start there and then just field offers as you go. All right, as opposed to just dropping a coin in there for like a 7-day sale where you're going to have a bunch of other people that are going to find these coins and then try and sell them. This is going to be an opportunity for a lot of you to make some money. And the only way that that's going to happen is if you actually engage with your bank branches, visit multiple banks, even banks that you don't typically go to. I want you to kind of start that conversation with your tellers and your managers. Hey, be on the lookout for these. I'm looking to pick up a number of rolls. Okay, speaking of rolls, before we get back into more errors and varieties, the rolls will be hot. Okay, if the first two releases, the Maya Angelou and the Sally Ride, were any kind of precursor to the rest of the series, full $10 face value rolls will be highly sought after because there's going to be people that want to search through them, and that's kind of like the treasure hunting mentality in today's numismatics. Okay, the first one to market is going to win ultimately. And that's whether you find the first error or variety, or if you're the first one to break a full roll or a 10 or a full box of these on eBay, or on YouTube rather. Always the first person out to market will benefit the most from these new releases. And you're going to have 20 cracks at it. As of the Man Killer release, you're going to have 18 cracks at stardom. And rolls have traditionally come out white hot. You could sell a roll for between $30 and $40. Again, not financial advice, but if you have them, go ahead and throw them up on eBay. And I would say throw them up for $39.99 shipped. If you're the first one there, more than likely you're going to have a number of people that are going to buy into those. Okay, currently, the Maya Angelou and Sally Ride quarter rolls, and that either P or D mint, have been selling for around $25 shipped. So they have dropped enough to where they've settled into this comfortable pocket of money, which is $25. It represents 2.5 times face value. And the big reason why that they're even at that level, sorry, I have my ball in my hand. But the big reason why that they've been able to hold that market line of $25 is because of the things that you could find in these. All right, and still a lot of people, even though I kind of want to believe that we're beyond this pandemic period where there was coin shortage supplies, and it's not really a shortage of the coins, but more of a shortage of the actual work and the logistics of getting these out to the people, because the U.S. Mint did produce a record amount of coins in the last 12 months. As much as I want to believe that's the case, there are a lot of people that still haven't seen a brand new 2022 quarter in hand yet. Although I'm coming across these things left and right with very little effort, might I add. But keep in mind the equity revolving around sealed rolls and boxes is going to be at its highest through the first 7 to 10 days of release. So let's say, for instance, you pick up a $500 bank box. More than likely, you're going to be able to flip that for around $700 to $800. you're going to profit $200 or more off of a full $500 bank box. I mean, that's pretty easy money to make right there. Just for, going to your bank, asking for it, they give it to you, it's in there. Ideally, you want the NF String and Son boxes with the little tiny cutout holes on the top of the box, so that way you could see the content that's in there. That's going to be important. But again, the sealed equity is going to be a huge opportunity to come out of the gates running and making yourself a few $100s per box. Getting back to the errors. So we had talked about the common kind of die chips on the corner of the mouth, but there's also going to be that matter of the field restricted strike throughs. That's a mouthful. Goodness gracious. But those have shown up on both the Maya Angelou and Sally Ride quarters. More prominently, the Philadelphia minted coins, because the quality control isn't really that good through the Philadelphia Mint. And God bless them, because, a lot of people are finding some pretty neat errors coming out of there. And there's going to be people are going to say, well, the mint quality sucks right now. It's appalling. I'm like, that's what you want. As a collector, as a numismatist, as an error aficionado, those are the type of things that you want to see. So enjoy it while it lasts, because there's going to become some time in the, I would say, near future, where the U.S. Mint is going to get this whole quality control thing down to a science. And then we won't see any more things like double the dies. We won't see any more of these strike throughs. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and flash the picture up of this quarter again. Go ahead and take a look at some of the devices. Most notably, the thing that sticks out the most is that star. And it's just about a central figure on the coin. If you guys know your current minting processes, the single squeeze strikes, or the single squeeze process of producing these coins will isolate any doubling toward the middle of the coin. So I can imagine a really nice double die right on that star. I think would look absolutely amazing. But this is going to be another release that's going to have a lot of day one kind of like financial implications for a lot of people that are looking to make a buck or two from this. You could literally make a few $1,000s off this release with very little effort if you really wanted to. If you don't apply yourself, and you don't put any work into it, and you're like, oh my God, Blue Ridge, it's a friggin' pipe dream, then more than likely you're not going to do anything. You're not going to realize the windfall that comes with a brand new release of circulation coinage. So make sure you guys take the opportunity to do the work, put in the work, because it is going to be work. You're going to have to pound the pavement. You're going to have to go to some banks. You could call them up, however you want to do it. But get the word out there that these are going to be dropping here pretty soon. Now, for you folks there on the West Coast that probably won't see a lot of the errors because they're mostly isolated to the Philadelphia Mint, it's okay, all right? Because here's what I'm going to tell you. There are those corner of mouth die chips that are popping up on Denver minted coins. Okay, we've seen a few of those. But also realize you guys can take advantage of the sealed roll equity that's involved, much like what I talked about 5 minutes ago. Denver minted rolls are still being sold for about 3x, 4x money right out of the gate. All right, so go ahead and take advantage of that if you're on the West Coast. I would certainly entertain doing that just so you have a little skin in the game. And then finally, before I let you guys go, we do have a Monday night live coin Q&A live stream. I will be there, as well as a few of our other panel members. We have a really nice suite of coin questions that came in through the last 2 weeks because we were off Memorial Day weekend. But we will be on there 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. Hopefully you guys can join us. I'll put something, I'll throw out a notification on my community tab. But also realize I also have a TikTok account that I had launched, trying to get to 1,000 followers so I could do some of these interactive live sessions with folks, opening up brand new roles, things of that nature. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you guys are into that kind of technology or into that social media platform, come on and go ahead and join me. It's BlueRidgeSilverhound, all one word on there. But I'm looking for your guys' support. Let's get to 1,000 followers. But that's going to go ahead and do it, guys. Quick little PSA on the brand new, sorry, I'm all belching. On the brand new 2022 Wilma Man Killer quarters. Be on the lookout for them. And, you know, try to do something with them because there will be opportunities. It's going to be who will take advantage of it and grab that bull by the horns, Bubba, because that's what you got to do in today's world. So God bless y'all. Have a great day. And this is your boy Blue. All right. So long.